Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You were talking about the comments. I was going to ask you about the theme. You said about 10,000 comments have come in. You're saying there's we don't need anything. We don't need anything new. We just need the fairness doctrine to be applied. Do you have some sense of where they're coming from? I mean, I'm on banking committee. We're talking about crypto. When we get messages back on nothing to see here, it tends to be from people that are heavily invested in crypto. I mean, do we know much about the comments to know if this is a kind of defensive mechanism up against people that are, betting future business plans on it? It's a broad swath. How would you characterize the feedback now and the nothing to see here? Just let the courts take care of the application.
Yeah, it's interesting because the view that fair use is the appropriate doctrine to handle this is being expressed by what you might say both sides, or maybe all sides.
Okay.
On the one hand, I would say the technology companies and some consumer groups and public interest groups are saying this should be fair use. If it were to be held not to be fair use, it would not be possible to develop this technology given the volume and variety of copyrighted works that are used in training. They are pointing to a line of cases that looks at the use of copyrighted works internally for purposes of analysis and comparing the training of AI models to those cases. On the other hand, the copyright owners are saying it cannot be fair use to take everything that we've produced through a lifetime of training and inspiration and to use it as raw material to create content that will compete with us in the marketplace. And so both of them are relying on fair use, but they are reaching opposite conclusions. So that's what we will be. Our goal in the report, I would say, is to provide a framework for analysis to explain how the fair use doctrine and the various factors the courts must consider should be approached in the context of different fact patterns.
That was going to be my follow-up. What precise role? What are you going to put out there to give reference material to good decisions that are going to go through the court? Minimally, what kind of instruction? What kind of role can you play on an immediate basis?
Well, I think that's the role we're looking at. It's very difficult to say that an entire category of activity is fair use or isn't, because it is a completely fact-specific.
See, I think a part of the reason why you may have a broad spectrum saying, let's see what the courts are doing, is because they're afraid of what Congress may do. And so a part of what we have to do is be very educated. We have to have a light-handed approach. I believe that AI is going to unleash an opportunity for innovation this country has never seen and really even set us apart, make us more of a leader than we already are globally. We don't want to have a chilling effect on it. I did have a couple of other questions. Number one, you were talking about the ECS, and I think you said that you've gone from recordation from months to weeks. Is that 36 months to 36 weeks, or is it like a couple of months to a couple of weeks? Give me an idea what that metric really means.
For entirely paper-based recordations, we are talking multiple months, sometimes more than a year. For completely online, if there's no correspondence needed, which is the vast majority of the online recordations, we're talking about less than a week.
Great. Well, that's great news. In September, several House Judiciary members wrote you regarding concerns with what they described as the proliferation of performance rights organizations. What's your response?
I understand the issue. Performance rights organizations play a very valuable role in helping to make licensing easier for everyone. But where there is a proliferation, and there are more and more, it's critically important for users to know what repertoire is represented by whom so they can make their decisions. Yeah,
it seems like some of the more well-established ones I'm not concerned with, but there's a multiplication here that's concerning me, and be interested in maybe getting a report back from you all on the current state of play.
We are planning to follow up by issuing a notice of inquiry and looking into what the experience has been.
Last one, and then you're currently in the midst of a 5-year review of the Mechanical Licensing Collective, MLC, created by the Music Modernization Act. What insight can you give us into this process?
We are currently reviewing the input that we've received. We have asked for both public input and also for the existing entities to give us a report on how they're doing and what they've been doing.
Can you comment on any concerns about transparency at the MLC?
No, we are listening to input about what all of the concerns are and
Okay.
taking it seriously.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.